Thank you for listening to this audiobook. This is Tides of Destiny, written by Katheryn Rosseau and narrated by Google Play auto-narrated voice, Michelle. Audio copyright 2025, published by Katheryn Rosseau. Prologue. Max. They say that the sea holds the secrets of all the loves it has ever witnessed, and perhaps it is true. I have been told many stories during the days I spent sailing the oceans, whether in service to the country, commanding one of my company's million-dollar cruise ships, or in service to the mafia, with whom my family was in debt. Some of them were too absurd, and I heard them and passed them on as legends. 90% of them were romantic stories. The grandfather of a friend of mine, who was my commander in the Navy, was the greatest sea storyteller I ever met, especially after having a few shots of rum, pretending we were pirates, but in the service of the law. He repeated many of them incessantly, and his favorite was that a long time ago, the god of the sea fell in love with a mortal, a young woman with eyes as blue as the deepest waves. She lived in a coastal village, and every night she walked along the beach, looking at the horizon, as if she heard something that others could not hear. The god, enchanted by her beauty and solitude, promised that he would seek her when the full moon was perfectly reflected in the sea. And so he did. One night of calm seas and a silver moon, he rose from the waters, shrouded in mist and foam, to take her with him. But there was one condition: she could never look back as they entered the underwater kingdom. If she did, she would lose everything. They walked together, the waves whispering eternal promises. But as they were almost disappearing into the ocean, she heard her mother's voice calling her name, and at the last moment she looked back. The god of the sea disappeared, and with him all the enchantment. The young woman remained there, alone on the sand, and since then it is said that every night she walks along the beach, waiting for him to return. And the sea, whether rough or calm, keeps in its tides the memories of a lost love, as well as the endless tears of the maiden. When I was just a boy, eager to explore the sea and experience adventures within it, the legend fascinated me. It was one of my favorites, and because he knew this, my captain would repeat it over and over again. After I met the woman I fell in love with, the legend was no longer funny. Even though it was just a mythological story, which served to entertain bored sailors, it reminded me too much of my own reality. To the woman I lost. The truth, however, was that I felt less like the god of the sea and more like the young woman who had come to roam the beaches, waiting for her love to return.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?